What's up, guys? I'm Frosty the Sandwich, and welcome back to Deadlock. Today, we're going to do another ranked VOD review. I guess it's all ranked now because the developers decided to basically make either everything all ranked or nothing's ranked, depending on how you want to look at it. Really, everyone's essentially ranked, and we're all playing in the same pool. And if you're in Ritualist, like this game was, you're probably going to get a mixed bag of people who just are playing the game for enjoyment. Nothing wrong with that. Or people who want to take it a little more seriously and want to rank up and win. Nothing wrong with that. They just seem to be polar opposites and hate each other, which, you know, you're just going to have to deal with that. I have climbed, so I started at Ritualist 6. This, as soon as the most recent update came out, that was my skill rating, and I have climbed all the way up to Archon 1, and it was not easy. It was quite a grind, but hopefully I'll be able to give you some tips on how you can improve and get through the rank 2. If the week 5 graph, I believe, is any indication of where players are at, it seems like getting through Emissary is probably going to be the hardest, because that's where the graph sort of peaks, and then it starts to dip back down once you get into the Archon lobbies, and so that'll probably be where a lot of people get stuck. So hopefully I'll be able to give you some tips to be able to push through those lobbies. Let's get into it. This game I did play Haze. I played Haze and McGinnis. I did have Vindicta as my third, but I never got her, thankfully, because I'm not that good at Vindicta, but I am fairly competent at both Haze and McGinnis, so hopefully I'll be able to give you some tips here. We're going to go ahead and skip ahead because we end up actually swapping. One recommendation, if you're playing Haze or McGinnis, I can't recommend enough trying to get solo lane if you can. Obviously, that won't always happen. You can do fine in the duo lane, but solo lane is where you really shine, in my opinion, and where you can really get a lead. And Haze is honestly kind of a bully right now, and I'm sure they'll nerf her in the upcoming patch, but while she's a bully, take advantage of it, because you can really dominate your lane almost immediately. So as you can see, anytime Abrams is giving us line of sight on him, we are going to be shooting at him and harassing him. And we're doing a lot of damage. He did make the lane a little late, which gave us the ability to shove wave really hard there and then punish him for trying to farm his own creeps. That won't always be a thing, but if you can beat your opponent to lane and shove wave, definitely do it. Here we're actually, he gets some denies on us, which is fine. It isn't really a huge deal this early. We do already have a lead, but here, yeah, we're just gonna look to kill him, and he does something that we're kind of expecting over here, so we were able to get a parry on him. Most Abrams are gonna try and heavy melee you. They want you to close the gap on them, and we saw him break line of sight on us and go into an enclosed area, so we kind of knew what he was going for there, which is why we knew how to parry. And the other thing that you can use the parry for is parrying the Guardian, which it disables it for 2 seconds, basically keeping your minions more healthy and yourself more healthy, so you can deal more damage into the Guardian, which it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds essentially, and we already have the Guardian at half health. It looks like they do decide to swap out here. I don't know if the Viscus is maybe a little more confident against Haze, or what happened there, but they decide to send Viscus to my lane instead of Abrams. Going for a parry there just in case. A lot of times when you're that low, they will try and do a heavy melee. Fortunately for that, Viscus, he did not try and do it, but he's too low here, and he really shouldn't be he should have gone back already, and he's actually going to die because of this. In a second here, we're actually going to, we missed the dagger, but it doesn't matter. We go to the left, and he kind of realizes what we're about to do, but it's too little too late. We come over and get the kill on him as he's about to go up on the zip line. If you can't, and we do go dagger first, but then we immediately level fixation all the way up. That will give you the most damage early game, and that's the level tree I highly recommend you do on Haze. Her 2 is better now, and I don't see a problem with maybe putting 1 point into it early on so you get that movement speed. It can be very nice, but you absolutely want fixation at level 5 or not level 5, level 3 with a 5-point level in it as soon as possible. Now, Viscus comes back, but we're just so far ahead at this point that he really can't stay in lane with us. Otherwise, we're just going to keep fragging him. And if you notice, we rushed combat barrier. This item is huge on Haze. The quicker you can build this, the more you're gonna solidify your lead on her. It's just, it gives you so much value for what it is. I can't recommend rushing this as much. If there's any item that you're saving up for to rush immediately, it is combat barrier. It gives you a shield, it gives you health, it gives you weapon damage, it gives you fire rate. It's so good on Haze, and it's also very good on McGinnis too. And also we get ammo scavenger, which I think is a pretty standard item pickup for her. You definitely make sure you last hit the souls, so you stack it. But as long as you're stacking it, you're doing pretty good. I just missed a bunch of souls there. I could have gotten some more free stacks on it. Oh well, missed opportunity. Headshot booster, I'm actually kind of have mixed feelings about. I've actually stopped building it in most situations. I think it's actually pretty good against Viscous. So we fuck up a little bit there by basically staying around too long. We probably could have backed off and healed, but the damage is done in that lane. The lane is pushed up all the way to the walker. It's 5 minutes, so we're not even gonna show back up in lane. We're gonna go help our teammates out because they're actually getting their guardian pushed, so we need to alleviate some pressure from them. We're gonna come over here. So Ivy gets a huge parry on this Moe and Krill. Parrying at this level will absolutely differentiate you from the rest of the player pool, at least in Ritualist. If you get really good at the parrying, you can swing a lot of fights that you honestly probably shouldn't have won, just because people are committing way too much to the heavy melee, and they shouldn't. And if you want to get good at it, my best recommendation is go into the shooting range and train yourself to listen to the sound cue. Don't even watch the dummy as it's trying to heavy melee you. There's so much visual clutter in the fights in this game that if you're relying on the visual cue for the heavy melee, you're probably not gonna hit the parry as often as if you just train yourself to listen to that wind up. Here we almost get a kill on Moe and Krill. He does a really smart thing by basically ulting us and just dipping as quickly as possible. And you can see that the soul disparity at this point makes it so that they really can't show up and try and 1v1 me. If they do, they're gonna die. So we're here just basically harassing them. Ivy notices how low that Moe and Krill is, dives in anyway to get that kill. Sorry, Moe and Krill. You had the right idea there for a little bit, but Ivy still decided to punish you. But yeah, so, and as you can see, we've got damage on our Guardian in the right lane, but it's still not down, and we're getting close to dropping this Guardian in the other lane, which is gonna put us ahead. Even if that Viscous shows up and gets that lane, it's not gonna be as big of a deal. That's still 2 Guardians for 1, which is huge. I can't stress this enough. I know I did it in my last video with McGinnis too, but getting structures will win you the game. Fragging's great. Fragging's fun. Everybody wants to get a high kill total, but killing those structures in a lot of cases is more important. Hey, we're gonna back off because we understand that we're low and we're alone, and we're actually still gonna die here because of it. I think the Lash and the Moe and Krill have really good teamwork here. The Moe and Krill comes in and ults me out of my ult, otherwise that Lash would have died, and they actually do secure the kill. Really good teamwork on the Lash and Moe and Krill. Understanding that they can't fight me alone, so they need to actually show up and work together. Good on them for doing that. I love to see good teamwork, even if it's on the enemy team. And here we realize that Viscous is pushed up to the Guardian, and we could probably get a quick kill on him and punish him for doing this, so we're gonna go back to lane. And like any chance you can to delay them from getting the Guardian even a little bit, take it. And so now they've got to dedicate another resource to go get that Guardian, even though it should have gone down there. And so you know, we defended the lane, so we're gonna rotate back over here. Pushing the middle lanes can be a lot more advantageous than we definitely should have died there. I didn't realize how close that Lash one was to us. There we see Lash go up in the air. One thing you can do against Lash players when you're fighting them is you can sleep them in the middle of their ult. So I don't believe we had the sleep dagger there, but as soon as you hear that bell, again, sound cues are huge in this game. As soon as you hear the bell, scan around, try and find the lash, and hit him with your dagger as quickly as possible. It'll save you and your teammates from getting yeeted into a bad position. Here we got 2 people in lane versus 1, so we don't really need to be there. We're gonna go farm a little bit. Although it looks like we do make the decision to go help out because we see that some people are starting. This is kind of just a nothing burger of a fight right here. Like, there's really no reason for us to be over here other than it's a middle elo lobby and everybody kind of wants to brawl and fight. We don't really gain a whole lot here. I mean, yeah, the camps are up, so you might say, well, you should secure the camps, but I don't believe we actually end up doing that. We just get the kills and bounce. So that fight really wasn't it wasn't meaningful for them or us in any way other than the fact that they gave us some free kills, which is nice. It helps us out, but even if they had won that fight, they really wouldn't have gotten much out of it. They should have been in lane soaking and trying to push objectives. Right now, they only have 1 Guardian and we have 2. Actually, 3. I misspoke. So they really need to be going for Guardians here instead of trying to brawl in middle and defend jungle camps. The jungle camps are important, but they're not nearly as important as structures. So here we're going to back off. We see that they're definitely going to try and hard commit to this lane. One piece of advice, missed parry on the Abrams there. Unlucky. It looks like the Yamato got the parry though, so we're good. And that, I mean, Abrams in particular, there's a couple of characters that are gonna try and heavy melee you more often than others. Abrams is probably the biggest defender. Just parry. Even if you're not sure he's gonna do it, if he gets close to you, throw the parry out. You might get lucky. Here we make a huge mistake. If you look, this lady guys clearly has her ult, but we close the gap on her. And we die because of it. Whenever you're fighting a Lady Geist, I want you to just do a quick peek up here and see if this Thunderbolt is full. She has her ult. Do not close the gap on her. You will lose the fight like we just did. And we should have. Should have been smarter about that engage. Oh well. You can learn from my mistakes. Here we're going to go defend Guardian. Again, we're, the key that I've been talking about is structures. So if you can deny the structures, you should. Obviously, we failed here, even though I think we had the right idea in mind of what to do. Our gameplay was atrocious there, and we got punished because of it. As well, we should have. Good on you, Abrams, for picking up that kill. But yeah, anytime you can try and deny a structure or take a structure, just always be scanning that mini map and looking for where the players are. Here we see that Lady Geist is running Urn, so we're going to try and go over and defend it. There is farm up on the map, so we might as well get some camps. This camp's pretty quick, so we think we can get it before Lady Geist gets to the turn-in. And now we're going to go over here. Let's talk about our items a little bit here. So Fleetfoot is something that I don't see enough Hazes build. It is incredibly useful on her. Not only does it give you movement speed and temporary ammo when you pop it, but it removes the move speed penalty while shooting. And it also makes your slide distance more, which slide distance gives you infinite ammo. So it basically gives you an extension on how long you can shoot. Huge item on her. Definitely try it out if you aren't buying it yet. Here, we're going to go up top. We know that they have Urn. We don't know exactly how many people are over here, but we know if we try and commit to a fight down there, we just die instantly. They collapse on us and we're dead. And that's Lash did a really smart thing there by trying to ult us down. He just barely misses it, which is unfortunate for him, and lands us back on the roof. And so we're going to stay up here. We are not going to drop unless they give us a juicy opportunity for a kill, like this Lash just does. So if we can take this guy out and swing the fight in our favor, we're going to do it. Of course, it doesn't matter. Lady Geist actually did get the turn in there because it's just me and Ivy over here trying to deny the turn in, which is fine. Honestly, we should have recognized that and disengaged here, because even though we do technically trade kills, we go 2 for 2. Also, one thing to note, I tried to cheeky wall jump just to throw off their aim a little bit. Obviously, it didn't really matter, but get creative when you're trying to live. Wall jumps can help. What I usually do is I'll do a wall jump and then a heavy melee in a random direction to throw off their aim. But either way, they got earned plus 2 kills. We only got 2 kills, so that fight was absolutely in their favor. And as you can see, they have a huge lead right now on us, which we'll correct later. But despite the fact that we had our Guardians up, it looks like they did finally go through and take Guardians, which is what they should have done. And that was a good call on their part. Here we're just coming back to lane. We see a low, beep up, we punish it. The only person we're really afraid of at this point is that Lady Geist. She's kind of fed, but everyone else we can kind of handle. So if we see him in lane, we should definitely show up and challenge them. But so bridge buffs come up every 5 minutes after they spawn at the 10-minute mark. So here, important to note, 15:45 is when we punch that. So we know at 20:45 is exactly when that buff is going to spawn again. And that'll become important later. It'll explain how I'm able to punch at the exact right time. And so let's talk about our items a little bit. We're just farming mid camps, nothing special here. We already talked about combat barrier, bullet lifesteal. Sustain got nerfed, but it's still incredibly good. Also, I will note that we have 2 bridge buffs right now, not just 1. And they don't really have a way of knowing that, but they cannot fight us. Even that Lady Geist, if she wants to show up, is going to be at a deficit. Despite the fact she's 2k up on us, we have 2 bridge buffs, which is essentially like 2 full items ahead of anybody who doesn't have our economy. And she's maybe like 1 item up on us at this point. We're basically 2 items up, so we have the advantage. We see she has ult here, so we do need to get that off of her, but I don't think she gets it. But we know she's trying to force us to have to come in close, so we see her go up there, and other players might have chased here, but we probably would have lost that fight if we let her ult us. Despite our advantage in just buffs and items, if she ults you, you kind of just die. So that's why we played it smart there and distanced ourselves, learning from our mistake previously. Let's talk. So Split Striker, I think, is pretty common on Haze. Nothing to explain there. Burst Fire is kind of the first tier 3 you should really ever get on her. Not only does it increase your slide distance again, but it's just a huge spike in your fire rate, damage in general. It gives you bonus health. It gives you movement slow resist. It's such a good item. The quicker you can get this online, honestly, sometimes you might want to rush it over some of these other items. But yeah, definitely get that. We just picked up bullet resist shredder. Nothing special there. We have a decent amount of spirit damage at this point, so we're gonna proc it. We see Abrams go up in the air here, so we want to back off until we see him actually commit to something. Here we see almost the entire enemy team on our screen, and almost no one on our team. That Dynamo did poke in, but this is a bad engage. We shouldn't have done this, and we're gonna die here because of it. All right, here we recognize that our walker needs to be defended, so we're gonna go do that. And also there's a big wave, but we also see that the exact opposite side of the map needs help as well. There's a big team fight that they're committing to, and it's over a structure, so this is a good fight for us to show up for. And we utilize the teleporters, which I a lot of times forget these even exist, but these teleporters are crucial and can help you pull off some clutch rotates like what just happened here. Lady Geist does not have her ult, so we are not scared of her at this point. We can just kind of push in and bully her. They do get another urn here, I believe. Yeah. Which, you know, we could have done a much better job as a team, but I don't think I alone could have done it, and you're about to see exactly why. I just get comboed into oblivion here. Again, great teamwork on their part. There really wasn't much I could have done there to get out of that outside of having unstoppable. Here we pick up extra health, just make us a little bit tankier. In Spiritual Overflow, I have mixed feelings about this item too. I think I actually prefer Lucky Shot at this point over it, which I've started building later on when I was grinding through in some of the later Emissary lobbies and the Archon lobbies I was getting into. I definitely found more value on going Lucky Shot, but Spiritual Overflow is still good. Her ult does a lot of spirit damage. Her fixation puts spirit damage on her just regular auto attacks. So it's a very useful pickup to have. Here we get Mo and Kroll ulted, which is unfortunate for us. We honestly should have died there, but we have so much damage and sustain at this point that I don't know if you saw. I'm just healing off of them. That we just got gun buff again, which was super lucky and clutch there. They can't show up and fight us without Lady Geist at this point. We're just gonna, no matter how much damage they get, another really clutch parry. Parry kind of shits on Abrams if they're not. That guy was not looking to bait out parry, which is what you should be doing when you start seeing people parry as consistently as we were doing to him. But on top of the parry, I just have so much lifesteal and damage at this point. It's not just about the lifesteal, it's about the damage on top of it. If you don't deal a bunch of damage, the lifesteal really isn't going to matter because it's just a percentage of the damage you deal. You deal a lot of damage, you're going to out heal the damage they're able to do to you because they're just not as ahead. The only person who'd really give us an issue is that Lady Geist, which is why we pick up Colossus later, and you'll see, I'll highlight that when we get to it. We did get rid of rapid rounds, I believe, to stuck with headshot booster, which, you know, I think sticking with rapid rounds probably would have been the better call, but whatever. It's not a huge deal. We do see that Lady Geist has ult here, and I think she actually was looking for it, but thankfully we were able to kill her before she got it off. This is a big team fight here, and if we win it, we can go for never mind, they don't have a walker. This is a useless fight to be. We honestly should have rotated out, which I think we might do. Outside of them just chasing us, we really should just be trying to disengage here. This is a lot of ego right here, us staying around. Unfortunately, Ivy goes down because of it. And they really should win this, all things considered. I think we end up living here and getting some kills. And it's mostly because they don't, despite the fact that they're all there, they're kind of staggering in and fighting me in like just kind of weird skirmishes. And even this Lash tried to show up. I think the idea was fine on their part. The execution was terrible on their part, and they died because of it. So they turned a winning fight into a losing fight real quickly just because they didn't have the coordination they really needed to there. Here we're going to pick up Colossus, which you might be wondering why. It's because we aren't threatened by any of these people. You might think, oh, why would you not get unstoppable? They have a Mo and Krill and a Lash, and they just ulted you into oblivion in one of those times. You need unstoppable. That'd be a fair point, other than the fact that Lady Geist is definitely the person we need to take out, and Colossus is far more impactful in fighting her than Unstoppable is, and you're going to see why in a little bit, but I'll also highlight over. So it gives you 600 health on top of the 20% base health, which is huge. So we're way tankier. 20% melee damage, don't really care about that. It's nice because you do get heavy melees off after daggering people. 20% weapon damage on a health item, awesome. Love to see that. And here you're going to see an excellent example of it. Despite the fact that she ults us, we're just so tanky that it doesn't matter. Despite the fact that she got the swap, we have so much damage and lifesteal and tankiness that we can kind of stand in it and not care. Now, thankfully, her team actually comes and backs her up there, so we still die. But if we had Unstoppable there, we'd have died way sooner. Got stunned there, but we pop Colossus and we're already back up to full health because of our lifesteal. This tanky build is actually very good. I think that Abrams got parried again. Rough day. This was a rough game for that Abrams for sure. And you'll also see that we picked up Decay. Decay is mainly for the Lady Geist again. She is absolutely the priority pick at this point. If we see her out of position, we are going to go over and try and fight her and kill her. Nothing special here other than, you know, we've got Urn on our side. We're looking to turn it in and get our lead even higher, and we're going to help our teammates out by basically just coming in and bullying the enemy players. There's really not a whole lot special that I'm doing here other than being way fed. So their only hope is to run from me unless they've got the number advantage or Lady Geist with them. Those are the only two times they should really even be standing in front of me and fighting me. Otherwise, they need to try and get out as best they can. Here we should be going Vampiric Burst. Yep. huge item on Haze, especially so I mean, you've already witnessed how strong my lifesteal is. This is just gonna make it even worse. And they did just nerf healing and sustain, but I think Vampiric Burst is still incredibly good on her. They nerfed it down from 100% to 80% lifesteal, but 80% is still wild, and you're about to see a showcase of, and the other stats you get from it are huge. This guy's about to go bye-bye. It's nuts. All I did was just push one active, and my fire rate became so high that his health bar just gets deleted. Here, Lady Geist does have ult, so climbing that pole was a little risky, but we noticed that our 7 put a stun on her, so we're just gonna hard commit and try and finish her off before she can get an ult off. And thankfully that is what happened. She easily could have turned that fight on us if she got an ult off there. And here we're just brawling because the person that we're afraid of is already dead, so we really don't need to back off or retreat. We need to push our advantage while we can. And we already have mid boss too. I mean, this is essentially game ending right here. Is we have mid boss, we have their highest level player down, so we're just gonna push into their base and go for an end. We know Lady Geist isn't up, so we're okay with throwing Decay on Viscous. Viscous has a lot of healing too, so if you can get Decay on any of the healers, honestly, they have a lot of healing on their team. So Decay's just good in general here. Our main reason for picking it up is Lady Geist, but we'll throw it on other people if they give us the opportunity. And on top of the lifesteal, you also get a huge amount of ammo. You get 75% of your clip, and that can stack on top of an already full clip. So if you're just running around between lanes and you have the opportunity to put it on cooldown to get extra ammo, go ahead and pop it. Vampiric Burst, I think, is sort of a sleeper pick on Haze. That I should see more people doing. We definitely focused down the Lady Geist there. It's 100% the right call. She's the only thing that's even remotely threatening on the enemy team. And here it's just cleaning up. There's not a whole lot they can do to stop us from just standing in front of them and shooting at them. Our sustain's too heavy. And we're just gonna end the game here. Yeah. And that is Ritualist 6. If you guys liked this content, please let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. It really does help me out. If you didn't like this content, please let me know. Let me know what I could be doing better. Maybe you want me to talk about the build items more. Maybe you want me to talk about the play-by-play more. Just let me know how you feel about this, because I really enjoy doing this, and I'm definitely going to keep doing this. And as you can see, Ritualist 6 lobby, we did do fairly well. I think Ivy and Seven did really well as well. I think the three of us combined are what made the difference that game. This Lady Geist was a very good player. Shout out to them. Danger Fuel, you did a really good job if you happen to be watching this. And yeah, I'll be doing videos at each rank. I am Archon 1 now, but I'm also getting into Oracle lobbies somehow. I've gotten into multiple Oracle lobbies now, even despite the fact that my skill rating says I'm at Archon 1. So I'm going to be doing Emissary, how I did through the Emissary lobbies, Archon lobbies, and now Oracle lobbies. So stick around, subscribe. You'll definitely see more content for that coming up soon. And until next time, stay frosty.